Hello everyone, this is Raja Ramesh and welcome back to TypeScript and Playwright Journey. In the previous video, we have learned about basics of functions, functions with parameters and function with return types. In this video, we will see about functions with optional parameters and default parameters. So what exactly optional parameters and default parameters does? First, we will talk about optional parameters. We have seen some examples earlier which accepts parameters in a function. In order to call those functions, we have to pass some value as an argument. If we miss to provide some value while calling that method, we end up in error. If you remember in earlier video, when we miss to provide some value while calling greet user, we have seen some error there. Now I want a function which should have a parameter, but user should be able to call that function with or without providing a value for that parameter. We can achieve that using a concept called optional parameters. Let us see that from Visual Studio Code example. So I will comment out all the code which is existing, clear the console, and write another function called function greet user, the one which we already used earlier, and it has some parameter called name as a string. This is what actually we had earlier, and copy the line from here instead of writing it again. So what it does is it will print a line to the console hello and the name which is actually provided. Now if we call this greet user and we don't provide some value, we are ended up with an error here. So we don't want this scenario. I mean, if user wants, they can call like this by providing some value, or they should be able to call that without providing the value for parameter as well. For that, we will be making name parameter as an optional parameter. So this is as simple as adding a question mark along with the parameter name in the function definition. Now name became optional parameter, and we see like error is gone even we don't pass value for the parameter in greet user. If you run this, you see hello and Raja and hello and undefined. We will discuss about that later. And now we got hello Raja in the first line and in the second line hello undefined. But the thing here to consider for now is we are able to call greet user function without providing a parameter value. So just to avoid this kind of cases, what we can do is we can add a condition inside the function if we got name. So if name, we can print this value. We can write this line. Else means the name is not provided. I mean, greet user is called without any parameter passing. So we simply log to the console.log hello, maybe some guest. Okay, so whenever we don't pass that, we should see hello guest instead of hello undefined. So this is how we write optional parameters. And if you see like when we don't pass any value while using the optional parameters, we ended up with getting undefined value. And if it is used in some computations, it may result in unexpected results. So for that, we can use some default values. So now we will see how to write a function which accepts parameters and that has some default value. Okay, so I will comment out this and I will write the same function again. Function greet user and name as a string equal to some default value you have to provide over here. Maybe guest itself. Got it? So if you write the definition and if you write the single line over here, console.log hello and the name. Now what happens is when user passes the value for name from the calling line, they get that value to this parameter. If they call without providing any value from the calling line, then this default value will be assigned to the name and will be used in the function body. Okay, now if you run this by adding these two callers and clear this and call this, you see hello Raja and hello guest are printed. See, that is the advantage of providing default value. So whenever you did not provide any value while calling the function, the default value provided while defining the function itself will be considered for that parameter. This is how we use the concept of optional parameters and default parameters in TypeScript along with functions. And in the next video, we will see anonymous functions and arrow functions in TypeScript. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.